Good morning, my friends. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. I remember almost 13 or 14 years ago when for the first time, I told Terry that I want to go to Lebanon. And there was a school there, Get Menyan, that my auntie, Arus Mokur, my aunt Arus, my mom's sister, was a music teacher there. And she taught them Bible and she taught them English, but mostly she would teach them songs and verses from the Word of God. And I wanted to go and get into life with her. I had that desire. And so Terry was okay with that. And so we bought the ticket. And that Sunday, nobody knew except the Lord, Terry, and I that I was going. And during the break at church, an elderly lady came running up to me and she said, Jasmine, when I was praying, I had a vision of you. I saw you running in an airport or somewhere and you were carrying a carry-on. And on your carry-on, she gave me this detail. She said it was all music notes on your carry-on. But then she said when you were running, as tired as you were, you kept looking up. You kept looking up. And there was the big angel of the Lord holding the clock. And I looked at her and I thought, wow, she has no idea that I am about to travel, yes, with my carry-on. And usually my carry-on is so heavy. And I thank the Lord that He's given me wisdom that I will make it lighter and lighter as time goes on. But anyway, so she saw me running in an airport and I said, I'm going to share something with you. Terry and I just bought my ticket and I'm on my way to Lebanon where my aunt is music teacher. So what you saw on the carry-on, music notes, that's where I'm going. And she was so excited. It encouraged her that she had seen a vision from the Lord to encourage me. And I just love that because sometimes people will come with things and I just take it, I listen to it, I take it to the Lord and I say, Lord, if it's you, let it be a reminder to me somewhere. Let me remember what they said. If it's not you, cleanse it from my mind, Lord. But this one was from the Lord to encourage me because a few weeks later, I was arriving into Germany and just like I did a few weeks ago in Frankfurt Airport, and this is what they still do. Your plane arrives and then everybody off the plane goes down the stairs of the plane, not through a walkway into the airport. You carry whatever you have on the plane with you down the stairs. Then they have two buses waiting. You get on the bus, number one or number two, it doesn't matter because none of them are going to go first. And they wait for every last person to get off that plane into the buses to take you to the airport. Even though I knew I had time when the plane landed, there was going to be no time for me to get to my gate. And as I sat there and I was like, wow, really? Are they not going to go take the ones that are transit at least so we can run to our gates? And then, no, everybody had to get on there and we were packed like sardines, like my dad would say. And then it started driving around the airport. Sometimes I think it's going in circles because I think, wow, they're driving me home to my door. This bus is going to take me to my door because it drives and drives and drives. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they're trying to let us think that they have such a big airport. But then by the time they get you to the gate, by the time you go upstairs, and I ran to the lady, the first lady that looked like she worked in the airport, and she pointed to me a gate. So I started running. As I was running to my gate, the vision came to me. I remembered and I said, Lord, my eyes are on you. Lord, you're holding the time. You're holding the time of this plane. So please, please, Lord, let me make it. Let me not be missing my flight. And as I was running and I was sweating, I got to my gate and there were two women standing, a man and a woman standing there. And they said, no, this plane is closed. And I said, to Beirut? And they said, no, this went to China. Your gate is, and they gave me another number. So I started running over there. And when I got to my gate, almost 150 or more people were just standing around waiting to be boarded. They had the plane was delayed, which was God's timing again. God has our times in His hand. We need to remember that. We need to remember that in the midst of our situation, when we are waiting, when we are running, when we are praying, when we are waiting for God to do a change in a loved one or bring them to the Lord, for them to find the Lord. And sometimes there's situations, I've told people, it's not 1 month, 2 months, 5 months, 1 year, 2 years. I waited for something for almost 6 years, and the Lord answered in his perfect way. We need to wait on his answers. And when I was reading the life of Paul the Apostle, because Jesus told us, when they did all this to me, you're going to suffer in this world. There's things going to happen to you that you are going to have to suffer, so that with the sufferings of Christ, we will have the glory of Christ one day. And so when Paul the Apostle, from chapter 21 of Acts, and I've been there for quite a few days now, because yesterday morning I sat down and I wrote every verse that Paul had to go through to wait. Because in Jerusalem, when he got there, the Jews had arrived and there was an uproar and they took him out, and he was not doing anything wrong, but they started beating him. They wanted to kill him. And then the centurion arrived. They take him out, but 4 times in these 6 chapters, Paul the Apostle gives his testimony. Clearly, he says, I was a persecutor of the church. Yes, I did all these things, but Jesus met me on the way to Damascus. He tells his testimony to crowds, to leaders, to chief priests, to centurions, and even to King Agrippa and Bernice, his wife. But this whole time, for these 6 chapters, he has to wait 2 or more years. Not only is he not let go free, yes, they said we give him freedom where his friends can come and minister to him, but at the same time, he had to wait for something. He had not done anything wrong, yet the Lord was giving him opportunity. There are times that we go through things that the Lord is letting us go through to wait, so that we have opportunities to minister to people, to speak his word, to give our testimonies. 4 times he preached his testimony, and it's like long. He speaks everything that the Lord did for him. On the way to Damascus, he says, Jesus met me there, a light, and everyone fell to the ground. But I heard the voice that said, Saul, why are you persecuting me? And he said, who are you, Lord? And the Lord told him, I am Jesus. Jesus met him. Not only that time, but many times in his life, we see where in 2 Corinthians, when we get to chapter 12:9, the Lord said, Paul, my grace is sufficient for you. My grace is sufficient for you. He hung on to the words of the Lord. And then another one that is one of the most beautiful verses that's hanging in my mom's bedroom in California, and I just love it. I don't know if my grandfather wrote it while he was there, because it's quite big. And this is what it is from. It's 2 Timothy, and he's writing to Timothy. He's saying in chapter 4, Timothy, everybody left me. But chapter 4, verse 17, he says, but the Lord stood by me and strengthened me. This is how he could endure the waiting. Because I said, Lord, that is a lot of waiting for something he had not done. But yet, you gave him opportunities to give his testimony even before kings. Because when he first got to know the Lord, and the word of the Lord came to Ananias in Damascus and said, Ananias, go and pray for this man. He's a chosen vessel for me. And Ananias said, I've heard so many things about him, but the Lord said, go. And then he said in verse 15 of chapter 9, and the Lord said to him, this is Ananias, go your way, for he's a chosen vessel unto me to bear my name before the Gentiles and kings and the children of Israel. For I will show him how great things he might suffer. He will suffer for my name's sake. So Paul the Apostle knew this. This word had come to him from Ananias. And I feel like when the Lord gives us words, It's for us to be able to endure the times of suffering or times of waiting, times of endurance that we have to go through. Of course, in an airport, sometimes I feel like, oh, it's so horrible what I have to do. I have to wait in line maybe for 20, 30 minutes sometimes before they can even get to me. But those are not the kind of waitings. The most important kind of waitings are those heartfelt prayers that you're praying for loved ones, that you're praying for peace in your family, that you're praying for people to come back and get restoration of their friendship, restoration of their fellowship together. Things that we are praying for, healing for sick loved ones, for praying for times of just very difficult things you're walking through. We know the Lord comes with his word every morning to strengthen us and say, my grace is sufficient for you. In your weakness, my power will be seen, because our strength is in the Lord. This morning, as I was sitting there in my corner with the word of God, phone calls came in, and a loved one of someone's mom had gone to be with the Lord, and it was like breaking them, because there's so many situations we cannot handle by ourselves. We have to run to the Lord. And as I was writing down, I said, what about times that you're ignored? What about times that you're neglected? What about times you feel so alone by yourself and you feel rejected? People don't understand you. You have a cause that nobody can understand. But those are the times the Lord comes with his word and he says, fear not. I know every hair on your head. Fear not, I am with you. Fear not, when you walk through the waters, I will be with you. Fear not, for you are called by me. I have called you. I have chosen you. I have given you a purpose. And when I read, I love this. I'm going to finish up with this, where it's in Lamentations. And I go there so often because it's Jeremiah. He's a prophet of the Lord. But he says, I have lost hope. All these afflictions and misery and wormwood and gall, my soul had still in remembrance of all those things. But then I recall to my mind that then I have hope. For the Lord's mercies are new every morning. There his compassions fail not. And then verse 25 of chapter 3 of Lamentations. The Lord is good unto them that wait for him, to the soul that seeks him. He wants us to wait on him. And Isaiah also said, they that wait upon the Lord, as we are waiting, we are renewing. He is renewing our strength. And we shall run and we shall fly. We shall soar like eagles as we wait on the Lord. And it says, it is good to wait on the Lord. The Lord bless you today as you wait on him.